In the summer of 1832, Joseph Smith the prophet, with the assistance of his friend Frederick G. Williams, began writing down for the first time the history of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And as far as we know, it would be the first time in that history that Joseph ever wrote down what would later come to be called his first vision. In the ensuing years, he would write it down himself 4 times, or he would dictate it for others to write it down 4 times. But there are about 8 to 10 different accounts of the first vision out there. And no 2 of them worded exactly the same. So what I would like to share with you now is the very first account that he ever gave of the first vision. And quickly you will come to see this account is what that vision meant to him personally. He recorded the following in that 1832 history. At about the age of 12 years, my mind became seriously impressed with regard to the all-important concerns for the welfare of my immortal soul, which led me to searching the Scriptures. My mind became so exceedingly distressed, for I became convicted of my sins, and by searching the Scriptures, I found that mankind did not come unto the Lord, but that they had apostatized from the true and living faith, and there was no society or denomination that built upon the gospel of Jesus Christ, as recorded in the New Testament. And I felt to mourn for my own sins and for the sins of the world. He continued, I cried unto the Lord for mercy, for there was none else to whom I could go and to obtain mercy. And the Lord heard my cry in the wilderness. And while in the attitude of calling upon the Lord, a pillar of light above the brightness of the sun at noonday came down from above and rested upon me, and I was filled with the Spirit of God, and the Lord opened the heavens upon me. And I saw the Lord, and he spake unto me, saying, Joseph, my son, thy sins are forgiven thee. Go thy way, walk in my statutes, and keep my commandments. Behold, I am the Lord of glory, who was crucified for the world, that all those who believe on my name may have eternal life. Behold, the world lieth in sin at this time, and none doeth good, no, not one. They have turned aside from the gospel, and keep not my commandments. They draw near to me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. And mine anger is kindling against the inhabitants of the earth, to visit them according to their ungodliness, and to bring to pass that which hath been spoken by the mouths of the prophets and apostles. Behold, and lo, I come quickly, as it is written of me in the cloud, in the glory of my Father. Joseph then said, my soul was filled with love, and for many days I could rejoice with great joy, and the Lord was with me, but could find none that would believe the heavenly vision. End of quote. Now, whatever else it means, this account of the first vision reveals that it was a very personal conversion experience for Joseph. He sought diligently the forgiveness of his sins, and imagine his joy when that blessing was received. Now, considering that Joseph would later prove himself by nature to be very careful in speaking of sacred things, it's a wonder that he shared this at all. And could it be possible that he only shared here one perspective on a rich, multifaceted theophany, and that he shared only as much as we needed to know? Could the prophet Joseph have said more than all the other combined accounts have shared? Of course he could. But he never shared everything he saw and all that he heard that we have record of. Now, please understand, I have laid personally all the different accounts of the first vision side by side and studied them. They do not contradict. But instead, these different accounts weave together like the multicolored strands of a tapestry to tell a beautiful story, only a portion of which we are allowed to know, and only as much as each account shares. Ultimately, when it comes down to it, it's not what Joseph left behind in the written word by which we know the veracity of his first vision. If we want to know if Joseph Smith spoke the truth, don't get bogged down in the differing accounts of the first vision. Go to God. Have faith in the Almighty and ask him if God actually appeared to the boy Joseph. It is absolutely vital to know that answer.